Hello once more, everyone. It is time for more stories. I didn't say Neckbeard stories, because this one's a little different. It involves a Neckbeard and someone else. Which, honestly, I'm okay with. I like to read stories in general. So, let us dive into this story. From Reddit user Anthracite Eyes. I'm pretty sure I said that wrong. I'm sorry. This is How the Beard and Football Hero Lost Their Jobs. I work in a small factory that's part of a much larger corporation. A pretty small building, but attached to a large warehouse that belongs to our parent company. And we have a small part of the warehouse for our use. This was the lair of our resident Neckbeard. And we figured every place has got at least one weird guy. Now, he's in charge of inventory control. You know, this goes here, this returns here, mail went out at this time via this method. The usual. Anyway, he had a cubicle in a corner to himself, and this suited everyone just fine. Now, the other warehouse worker is, well, Al Bundy, but muscled and not as smart. High school football hero who hasn't yet realized that high school was a decade ago. His job is to fetch and carry mostly. When not in warehouse, he would prowl the building, looking for anyone that had not yet heard of his glory days, or a female that had not yet turned him down. Beard, having dismissed all females in the building as too old and not good enough for His Majesty. There were only about 20 of us total until last year. Parent company decided we could merge with another factory, seeing as we're barely using our production floor. This is when we got lucky. No, not as in good luck, or maybe he was. What we thought at first was he was another Neckbeard. Turned out to actually be a really charming young gentleman who bathed. He would tell anyone that he was the luckiest guy alive, all because of his girl. Beard was at first excited at the prospect of having a minion of his ilk, but the whole girlfriend thing and hygiene habits, well, hygiene habits that did not cause people to spray Febreze every time he entered a room, that made Beard turn up his nose and ignore Lucky. Lucky was also a machine operator, therefore beneath Beard's level. 6 months later, and we still haven't met Lucky's girl, but we all loved her. Every Monday, we got something tasty from her going overboard cooking on the weekend. We knew she was a redhead, and her family had come to America from Dublin in the 70s. He came in that Monday morning, followed by, well, let's just call her Irish. She was the final wave of transfers from the other company, and we'd be joining the office staff. So we were torn between the tray of boxties, some sort of heavenly pancake type thing common in Ireland, and the startling revelation of meeting Irish. 5 foot tall, when she wore heels, and maybe 100 pounds, very long red hair. This is the red you were either born with or had to sacrifice small children to a hairdresser weekly just to have. Huge baby blue eyes and porcelain skin that makes you feel like a lizard dipped in acid. I'm not sure I understand that one. This girl could have been put on a poster for Ireland, and you would have had a tidal wave of people trying to move to Ireland. This pair didn't seem to really make sense to anyone. But they were a pair, and watching them together was something to make even the most hardened cynic go, "Aw." Well, I just did. Her eyes would light up, and he would smile like a child being handed everything he ever wished for. Now, all of us were charmed by this couple, except for Beard and Football Hero. That a lesser male had found a milady of such beauty was an offense he could not forgive. Football Hero decided Irish had not yet seen his awesomeness yet and would be in his bed before the week was out. This gave Beard an idea. Clearly, she hadn't realized that she was meant for something better. Something like him. The chase was on. Irish settled into the office, which was more or less off-limits to anyone in production, but Beard thought that did not apply to him. He was just office staff with a private cubicle. He got chased out and told that if he had questions, there was a company email for a reason. Now, Iris was one of the people in charge of customer relations. Fancy term for once a customer is hooked, she held their hand through the process of production and delivery. Oh, the tales of strange customer requests she could tell. One thing she had to do was find out if we had raw stock to fill a rush order. This required asking Beard to check stock locations and update the inventory totals, sometimes as the item is being made. He'd make notes and hand-deliver these to the office. Her boss would take the paper and then run him back off and remind him that there is an internal message and email for a reason. Now, I cannot confirm this as being truth, but Beard found a set of kindergarten posters about how to write letters and numbers in his cubicle one morning, as well as a few first-grade workbooks. No one saw Irish and Lucky do this, but they were at work oddly early that morning and giggling quite a lot. His wrath over having his space invaded and someone to presume he needed such was equal and intense. Football Hero, meanwhile, is confused. Hadn't he done the right postures during lunch breaks? Hadn't he mentioned his fame? Hadn't he flexed and made it clear that she was welcome to share his bed anytime? So why was she sneaking to break and avoid him? Flowers! Ah, yes, that would work. Unless you send a huge bouquet of roses and eucalyptus branches to someone who's allergic to eucalyptus. Yeah, Irish had to go to urgent care for a shot and looked miserable for days. The scent lingered in spite of it swiftly being whisked away and taken to a senior home nearby where it was much more welcome. Lucky was pissed, but couldn't prove who sent the roses. Besides, she hates roses. They remind her of funeral homes. What she did love were daffodils. He teamed up with another coworker who had a green thumb, and they forced a pot of different types of daffodils to bloom out of season. Irish was ecstatic and hugged the coworker and Lucky, and settled into cooing over the flowers. Football Hero made a snide remark, and, well, we knew who sent the roses. Now, if I went through all the happenings of the past year, I'd be writing an epic novel, more than I've already done. So let's fast forward to December, a week before Christmas. Everyone is, shall we say, surprised and excited to find out that there's a very nice catered meal and a really odd cake for lunch. By odd, I mean, think a wedding cake, only if a gamer designed it. Now, we're chowing down, and someone mentions to the boss, "Hey man, thanks for this." Or make sure to thank the company, too. And he replies, "No, you need to thank Lucky and Irish." What? And why were they shifting about and blushing like crazy? Stuttering slightly, they announced that they have done this with permission, because they'd be leaving for a month at the end of the week. First to go to Lucky's parents for Christmas, and then on their honeymoon. They'd gotten married the Saturday before, and instead of a fancy wedding and reception, they decided to do this and celebrate it with us, the people they saw the most. Oh, that was sweet of them. Cheers and congratulations, and lots of good feelings, and then a roar? What? The Beard, who had been trying to shovel as much food as he could into his gullet, was now enraged. At the same time, Football Hero makes a comment that is not repeatable here. Classy. The pair charged over and demand to set Irish straight about exactly who she was supposed to be with. Lucky turned bright red and started to defend his wife. But Irish is redhead, and Irish isn't just a name. She comes from a long line of temperamental people. She met the pair, and one look at her had them shutting up and backing up. The rest of us debated about getting popcorn, finding an old priest and a young priest, and maybe heading for a bomb shelter. The pair were quickly cornered, trying to escape or become a part of the wall. Anything but, touch one another. Not everything she said was in English, and some shocking revelations were, revealed. One of which was that both had sent her dick pics over the company email. Classy. Apparently, the only time that Beard ever used the company email was for this, and that Football Hero really needed to lay off the steroids before his, quote, itty-bitty tiddly-weedly vanished completely. By the way, I love hearing her lapse into her family's speech patterns. They have some of the most creative names. I second that. Now, Lucky knew enough to stand back, but one of the managers went to intervene. Lucky whispered something to him. He turned white and ran for the front office. The office manager was a grandmotherly woman, the sort who would burp a baby, feed a toddler, scold a teen, and still order troop movements at the same time. She walked in, had a few words with Lucky, and then went and filled a plate and sat down. In her words, quote, "These two are hearing nothing they shouldn't have heard ages ago. And she'll tire out and need a bathroom run and a good cry soon enough." Now, one of the other managers and one of the other tech guys were huddled over a laptop. All company emails are available to be read by tech support. None can be deleted. Football Heroes was easy to find, and as we later heard, yeah, he suffered steroid depletion. Ouch. But he almost missed Beards until he questioned why he would be sending the north side of a southbound Sharpay to Irish. Seems he should have used a selfie stick. His arms were too short to get a picture of anything but his belly button. Oh. Irish fell silent and was just glaring, then turned around, grabbed 2 handfuls of the cake, and threw it at the pair, with another few lines of not English, growled at them. "Yeah, we should find this priest now." She stormed off, with office manager following behind her. At this point, Lucky drops the bombshell. After 2 years of trying, Iris was pregnant. Gaelic bloodline, red hair, pregnancy hormones. We should have grabbed the priest and ran for the bomb shelter. Maybe they could have prayed for us. The head of HR for the parent company that had been called at some point and made some sort of land speed record to get there. Plant manager and HR representative guided the 2 cake-smeared men to a private office. They would be sent home for the rest of the day. A bit later, Irish came out, cleaned up, smiling and cheerful yet again. Lots of congratulations, well wishes, accompanied with the remainder of the cake. All in all, one of the best wedding receptions I've ever been to. Lucky and Irish went home early and were allowed to leave on vacation early. Now Friday, before Christmas, Football Hero and Beard have a meeting with almost every big shot that could get there from our parent company. After Tech Guy showed them all the evidence, proof of months of sexual harassment, they were told that security would allow them to retrieve personal items from lockers, but they would no longer be employed and would not be welcome at any related businesses of the parent company. If seen on any property owned by them, they would be arrested for trespassing. As far as I know, Lucky and Irish have no clue about this outcome, as they haven't yet returned from their honeymoon. But I sort of think that management gave them a perfect wedding gift. Freedom from harassment. Oh yeah, someone did ask how Irish and Lucky ended up together. Quote, "He loved me even when I couldn't stand myself. And he's ticklish." Well, that was a really, really good story, and thank you for sharing it. That had some twists. I liked it. Yeah, wow. I mean, I seriously can't believe that. Okay, so half of me wants to say that it blows my mind that they would use the company email to send horrific dick pics, but I don't know. I've seen people do stupider shit, and just, like, why? Why? See, this is the thing I don't understand, and it's been happening. I don't know if it happens it's just the advent of technology or what, but it seems to be that, like, a lot of this is like leading into conversations now. It's just like, here's a picture of my penis. Yeah, after she said no 17 times, the random picture of your stumpy little man is absolutely going to just seal the deal. Now, can't stop. That's the best. Like, they do know they're going to get made fun of on the internet, right? Like, there's a whole subreddit devoted just to creepy PMs. It's literally called that. And, I mean, what the fuck? Did people just not know this? Do they not know that this is a thing? It's confusing. But the company email bit has to be my favorite, because as soon as I heard that, it's just like, no, you can't. Companies don't delete their emails, because they need those for records, in case anything gets misplaced or broken, or they have to do some sort of refund or recheck. Yeah, always. They always keep their emails. If you sent your Tinky Winky over the fucking email, it's in their records forever. Dumbass. Ugh. Dumbass plural. This was a special one. Usually we don't get two dumbasses in a story, but then we did. And thank you again for fucking sending us this story. This was special kinds of special, and I very much enjoyed it. And I hope you all enjoyed it. And if you'd like to send me crazy stories like this, or any, honestly, they don't just necessarily have to be Neckbeard stories. I like crazy shit, so let's read crazy shit together. You can send them to my subreddit at r/Moonhorse stories. And if you don't want to post it on the actual subreddit, you can like PM them to me. I'm the mod there, so I'll get it. I check it every day, so I will always see it. And if you want to support this show, I have a Patreon you can donate to, and I sell t-shirts and shit. All these things are in the description below this video. Just check it out. There's a whole bunch of stuff there. And I'm going to go read some more crazy stories. So, thank you all for watching. I love you all. I'll see you later. Goodbye!